Hello, Holberton students. My name is Ben, and I'm a second year student in the AR/VR specialization. Today, I'm going to be talking a bit about AWS. AWS, or Amazon Web Services, has a huge variety of services to help you start serving content. In fact, 40% of all cloud-based services on the internet use AWS. It's no wonder considering there are 175 different cloud services. With so many services, it can be intimidating to figure out how to get started. So in this video, I'll be covering Elastic Beanstalk. Beanstalk is a platform as a service. This means that AWS handles server setup, configuration, and resource allocation for you. It allows you to deploy your code quickly and focus on development, not on DevOps. With Beanstalk, there's no upfront cost. You only pay for what you use, and you can configure it to use only micro EC2 instances, which are free for the first year. What benefit does Elastic Beanstalk have over other services? Well, while some features may not be super useful for a portfolio project, it's always good to be comfortable and familiar with technology that's used in production environments. However, there are also lots of tools Beanstalk has that are useful for portfolio projects. Beanstalk can automatically spin up new servers if there's too much traffic in coordination with a load balancer, and it will also shut down extra servers once traffic has died down. While you can manually upload new versions of your app every time there's an update, Beanstalk supports continuous integration. That means that when used with another service such as Travis CI or AWS's own code pipeline, Beanstalk can automatically update whenever there is a new change on your master branch, for example. Beanstalk also allows you to roll out an update to your app without any downtime, meaning a user will never see a pesky 500 page. Lastly, Beanstalk allows you to integrate easily with other AWS features such as Code Pipeline for continuous integration, S3 for mass storage, or DynamoDB for databasing. It can be used with any language, but it's easiest with their pre-configured setups, including Node.js or Python Flask or Python to Django. But today I'm going to show you how to set one up with Python Flask. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go to console.aws.amazon.com. You'll need to create an account if you don't have one, or sign in if you do. Then in the top left here, we can click Services, select Elastic Beanstalk here, and it will show you a list of your running environments. I already have an environment, but we'll make a new one. You're going to want to select a web server environment for our example Flask application. We'll just call it example. And then down here, the environment name, it'll automatically fill in if you click there. You can leave it as that, or you can name it whatever you want. This domain, if you're setting up if you're going to use your own domain, it doesn't really matter what this is, but if you'd like it to be something nice, you could, make it something nice. There you go. And description, that's optional. I'm going to select a managed platform, and we're going to use their version of Python and Flask. So here, my application is in Python 3.8, so I'll just pick the latest version supported. I'm going to use Python 3.7. Since this is already the recommended platform version, I'm not going to change that. You can start with sample application code. However, you can also use your own code, which is what I'm going to do right now. So we have to upload that code. I'm going to show you how to prepare it real quick. So what we're going to do is I'm running this in VS Code. This is my application's code. It's a simple app. It serves a very simple home page and then also has some API functionality. This is actually the example code that AWS provides, but I'm going to show you how to prepare it as if it were your own. Cool, so assuming this is the only file we have, you can have multiple however your application is set up, but this application.py is the only one that we have. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to set up pip3 freeze. So that should show you all of the dependencies for your application. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pipe that into a file called requirements.txt. And this requirements.txt file will be used by Beanstalk to know which versions of which pip plugins to use. So for example, it'll know that Flask needs to be 1.1.2, and this will all be based off of what's currently running on your local machine. So as long as it's working locally, it should all be set up the same in Beanstalk. So now I'm gonna go into my folder here. I'm gonna select all of them. I don't want to select the parent folder. It won't work that way. I need to select all of the files I want for my app and this requirements.txt file. And I'm going to compress them into a zip file. It's just going to be called example.zip. That's fine with me. Now what we can do is we can go back to this create environment setup in AWS. I'm going to click choose file, and then I'm going to select my example zip. It should upload, and then all I need to do is click create environment. And then just wait. It should only take a few minutes to spin up. All right, so that took about 3 or 4 minutes. It says here 3 minutes, I guess. And let's check it out. So if we go back to our environments tab here, and we select our app environment, it'll show us this little domain we set up, or it'll be some random characters here if you didn't select one. So if we click that, there we go. Here is our website running on Beanstalk. So if I go to /Jones, it'll say hello Jones, and it'll give us a back button. So we can see that that is fully functional. Real quick, I'm going to run through some helpful configuration or some things that might be useful to you. So this page, while it looks intimidating, I would recommend going through each of these, clicking edit, being careful not to accidentally change anything, but just reading through each of the short descriptions. A lot of this stuff won't interest you. However, you can see in this capacity section, this is one of the most important spots. So you can decide if you only want one server running that Beanstalk manages, or if you want several that are load balanced. You can set the minimum and the maximum here, and some settings for those things, including the instance type. So you can change what type to use the free version here. Including you can have different scaling setups, which can be useful if you want to send out an update without your website going down at all. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your portfolio project.